Hello, everyone. Okay, so we sort of thought we'd do some commentaries to some classic Star Trek episodes.
Some late night Trek.
There you go, some late night Trek episodes. This is
Something.
something.
Late night Trek.
Yes, late night Trek. There you go.
I like
That's the name for this format. Commentaries to episodes, like commentaries to movies, are quite common.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anybody do commentaries to episodes of a show. We will not do every episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Minus the Delta Flyers.
Oh, well, true.
But I don't
That's
think they
true.
count.
Well, yeah, they're a bit more special because they were actually in it.
Yes,
So-
somehow that's different.
We sort of thought we'd pick a few of our favourite episodes of TNG and then maybe eventually Deep Space Nine or Voyager. We could do some of those as well.
Indeed.
Kind of helps if they're standalone.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to pick a whole run of Deep Space Nine. But
No.
today we are doing Season 3, Episode 6, Booby Trap. Oh, Booby Trap. It's the one where Geordi LaForge is creepy and there is a booby trap the Enterprise gets caught in. So, if you want to watch along, we're going to do a little countdown. Get
Cue
the
up your
episode
Netflix.
queued up on your Netflix or you're on your digital versatile disc, perhaps. And get ready to press play at the sound of the now. 3, 2, 1, now.
That actually worked.
Look at that.
Very good, very good.
You should be seeing very pretty moon
Moon.
set.
Moonlight. I was trying to do Twilight, but with moon. Didn't work. Why does... I only just noticed this. This is the first time I've noticed this. He has 3 coconut drinks.
Oh, yeah.
There's 2 of them there, but he has 3 coconut drinks.
I think maybe he's got one for himself, like he's clearly getting a bit drunk so that he can kind of get through his date.
But, so he has 2 for himself then? Because there's 3.
Now, I can't remember, maybe she turns up earlier on in the...
Hey, it actually tells you what he's playing. They never
It does,
do that. They
yeah.
usually just say, plays romantic music.
plays some music.
Why would you want it played to you by a pirate?
It's just beach themed, I guess. Yeah.
Something about watching this without the sound on, you realize just how creepy
It's
the
extra
violinist
awkward.
is being.
It's just extra awkward.
He's like up in your face.
I will lean over slightly. This is a great scene of Geordi LaForge being kind of hopeless with ladies.
Oh god, what is that? Oh, I can't remember if it's a movie or a television show where... I think it's West Wing, when he's trying to decide if he has a string quartet at his anniversary dinner with his wife.
Well, that's because he wants to know if he should have a violinist.
Yes.
It's Leo McGarry, who's missed. He forgot his anniversary because he was working too hard.
So he wanted to get a violinist for their dinner at home.
And he tells Josh Lyman why, and he's like, "Well, I say just bring on the Juilliard string quartet."
But then he ends up saying, "But see, the problem is you have 15 minutes of romantic violin music, and then it's just you on a date with a violinist."
You know, he says, "Then there's just a guy in my house." This is even better. So, basically, the premise of the episode is Enterprise finds itself at an ancient battleground between 2 races that are very long extinct, including the Promelians, the Promelian battlecruiser. This is a lovely, lovely little touch here where Wesley notices that he's come in early, and Data kind of goes, "Uh-oh," just like Wesley just did. It's his cute. And it's not pointed up as meaning much. It's just a cute little thing. So they pick up a signal. It's kind of a classic. Enterprise goes to investigate something, gets stuck, has to be inventive and figure out the situation.
Yes.
Now, I used to find these kinds of episodes kind of annoying as a kid because they just seemed like a momentary setback. They didn't seem like a very consequential story, but actually what's going on is usually some deeper themes about, reliance on technology and trying to be yourself and that type of thing.
Some moral
creative
of the week.
Yeah, moral of the week, creative problem solving, that type of thing.
Ooh, peak Riker beard.
It is, yeah. This is also that point in season 3 where everyone was looking really at their top. You can't quite see as much of Michael Dorn's glue holding his prosthesis on his head.
Riker hasn't started looking scraggly quite yet.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, most people who would listen to this would probably also be fans of Red Letter Media. Obviously, Mike and Rich from Red Letter Media just did a big feature on TNG episodes of their favourites, which one of which was this one.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things they pointed out in the early seasons is that the early seasons they didn't really do enough character stuff. By the way, we're not skipping intros. We're going to go straight through. So in like season 1, you don't really see the crew doing a lot. They're just kind of they're doing their jobs, but you don't see them doing a lot outside of their work hours.
Yes. Up. Here it comes.
Oh yes, the thing that nobody can unsee.
I can never unsee
Watch
it.
the rings, everyone, on the left.
Inside the rings.
You can see they hid the star wipe right there. Now that is a clever place to hide a star wipe.
I know, but now that I've seen it, it hurts.
Yeah, but look at this gorgeous shot of the Enterprise.
It's beautiful.
It's burned into my mind, that shot. It's so nice.
I'm sorry, we're talking about that they should do more character stuff.
Yeah, so one of the things that they did right as soon as... So this season, basically, behind the scenes, what's going on is a lot of the writers that were on TNG for season 1 and 2 were no longer working. I guess Maurice Hurley was still on TNG. But they brought in a whole group of new writers, including Brannon Braga, Ronald D. Moore, and also Michael Piller, who contributed some of the, I think, the best episodes, and also helped set up Deep Space Nine and Voyager and things like that, and kind of helped expand the franchise into something much bigger. And one of the things he did was to try and give the characters more actual background and personality.
In a couple of episodes, we actually get to see Troy doing something.
I know. I can't remember if Troy's fascination with chocolate came from this era. It might well have done.
I that's not exactly what I meant, but yeah.
Yeah, that type of thing.
I meant more like having career ambitions, but you know, that too.
That's more later on, isn't it? Putting on a normal uniform. Yeah. Ooh, quick point.
That's a beautiful model.
Quick point on this model. This is one of 2... Isn't it nice? And Blu-ray really helps.
And I love when you can see that's a physical model.
This is one of 2 models that was not built for Star Trek.
Really? What
That ship was not built for Star Trek. It was built for the ending of a movie called Night of the Creeps, I think.
Oh.
And it basically, you see it upside down and it hovers over a landscape at night, all lit up. And I think it didn't work anymore. I think the lights were broken. And somebody in the image, probably Image G, who were doing the lighting effects at this point for TNG, had access to this model, and it's like, we got this model. We don't have to build a new ship for this episode. It'll save us some time, and it'll add a lot of production value. It
definitely looks a bit bittier than most Star Trek. Like, most Star Trek ships don't have external gubbins. I suppose maybe
it's greebles. They call them greebles.
Oh, they call them greebles. Love that. I mean, Klingon ships do, I guess.
Yeah.
But usually they're smoother.
But you know what that is, though? It's a movie quality prop, as opposed to TV quality props, where it's like your stupid triangle ship that turns up in every episode. You know that one? They redress it, paint it beige or paint it grey.
It's a little bit like at Disney World's Galaxy's Edge in Florida. In Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars area, they have. I think it's an X-wing. I'm not nearly as versed in my Star Wars ships as my Star Trek ships.
Yeah.
But it was the one at Galaxy's Edge that you can see was in The Mandalorian. But it was because they started shooting The Mandalorian and realized they needed a ship. And they'd already made one for Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, nice.
So they went and said, we need to borrow this, and then you can have it back.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So they borrowed the ship that they had made for the amusement park.
But then you get to say, hey, this is screen used.
Exactly.
This is a screen used
I just like that it went that way around. I thought it was kind of fun.
So yeah, that model came from Night of the Creeps. The only other model that's used in Star Trek, as far as I'm aware, that was not originally made for Star Trek, was the USS Pasteur.
Yes.
It's Beverly Crusher's ship from the very last episode.
It was not a concept ship, though.
It was based on a concept ship. It was built by Bill George as a hobby project. He was just like, what if I made like an updated version of the Sphere ship?
Okay.
That has like a sphere front.
What about Regular Station?
No, that was made for motion picture. It's the orbital office complex upside down.
I knew it was upside down for some.
So right away, you guys, anybody listening, will have a very good idea of the different kind of areas of expertise. I know my models and my production history and kind of conceptual stuff, behind the scenes stuff about TNG. Annalise knows theme parks. That's a big interest of yours.
I don't know why. I have no idea. Well, that's the thing. I have no idea why. It's just one day, years ago, I got pulled into a YouTube channel about theme parks. And ever since, it's been a pet fascination of mine.
Right.
Just why theme parks were made, the issues that came up when they were being made, defunct theme parks. I love learning about defunct theme parks that are closed down now, and why they got closed down, and plans, even in the big parks, things that they had planned that never ended up happening, and where you can still see remnants of the original.
Hidden areas and stuff, yeah.
Like, Animal Kingdom was initially supposed to be animals, dinosaurs, and fantasy.
Oh, right.
The Fantasyland never happened, but if you know where to look, you can still see, like, unicorns and things scattered around the park. I don't know. It's random. I find it interesting. It's not related to Star Trek. But I do know things about sci-fi and Star Trek as well.
Annalise is mostly a Doctor Who. You started with your Who.
I started with Who, but I think my Star Trek knowledge is on par now.
I think it is too. I mean, we spent the last 4 or 5 years, like, pretty much mainlining these episodes again and again.
I think I've watched more Star Trek than any other sci-fi in the past 3 or 4 years.
Nice.
And
great character, Guinan.
One of my favorites.
Wonderful character.
Then obviously Babylon 5.
Babylon 5, which is wonderful.
My favorite sci-fi series.
Nice.
Anyways, back to what we're actually commenting on.
So Guinan here doing the classic thing of, hey, you're being normal with me right now.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Well, you're actually an El-Orian. You have a special talent for listening.
He has amazing teeth. Look how
I know.
Very
well, you probably, I don't know, I mean, he may naturally have those teeth, but I imagine also if you're going to be an actor on TV,
yes. And you might need to do some
work. Very good Will Wheaton quiff there. That's quite good quiff hair.
We're talking a lot about hair and teeth.
We are.
And beards.
We're getting very superficial. I guess it's the Blu-ray, the updated Blu-ray.
I think that's what it is. We're actually just commenting on the quality of the Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray transfer. I do remember the first time the Blu-rays came out. In, I want to say it was like 2013-14. And I had, let's just put it this way, I had a bit of a rough period in early 2013 and needed to kind of have a little bit of a nostalgia trip, a little bit of a comfort. And so I bought a new Blu-ray player. I didn't have a Blu-ray player before that. Bought a new Blu-ray player and like 3 seasons of this. I just watched them all. And I was absolutely amazed at how good they look. I mean, just the fact that I had kind of gotten, in my head, those red uniforms were a completely different colour. They were very kind of flat and kind of greyed out. Whereas now they're vibrant, bright colour. And it looks like it could have been shot yesterday, Oh,
look, he has a battery-powered tea light.
Yes.
Oh, no, they look absolutely stunning.
This set looks to me like it could be a redress of the Klingon bridge set from the motion picture. So there are certain sets that kept on getting reused, and they just slap a different sticker on here. They repaint it, respray it, probably add some different consoles and things.
Is that supposed to be like a memory chip of some sort?
Yeah, it's like a data crystal from B5.
Oh, hello.
It's a lovely little bit. Like you've got, I don't know why I really love captain's logs. I find those really fun. It's like you have those in like Aliens or Alien Messages or Event Horizon has one.
I kind of like that in situations like this. They probably went to the makeup designer and said, "Look, just do something quick. It doesn't really need to look perfect. It's going to be on a staticky little screen.
Yeah.
It's going to cut in and out.
Ridge heads.
Just give us some ridge heads. Head ridges. You said
they're the ridge heads. They're the ridge head people.
Okay, alright.
There you go.
Now remind me what our problem is here. Are we doing disease?
No. This is
or are we
so the asteroids are sapping the energy away from the Enterprise, which is the same it's a hidden booby trap, and they could shoot all of the asteroids they wanted, and they'd never find them, or it would use up too much of their energy to do so. So, the more energy you put into the system, so they have to find a clever way out of it. It's not a simple just blow it up. I'm looking at you, Star Trek Discovery. Yes, we're not going to go too much into what We're just going to kind of keep this on the classic Star Trek discussion, because I'll just put it this way: neither of us really like the new ones. We don't really watch them.
Minus Lower Decks.
Lower Decks is good. I'm told Prodigy is good. Even though it is for kids.
I have said from the beginning that I had high hopes for Prodigy because I love animated series.
It's an animated. It's very kiddie, I think. I watched a review of it today. It's very kiddie, but it does have some things that you would definitely like in it. Meaning, I won't spoil it, but it reintroduces some characters that you like.
Ooh, so I'm excited about that.
And we see a classic design of ship.
Oh,
as
all right. Well, maybe I'll whack it on for. Ooh, I could watch it on the train. It's a good idea.
I've seen some clips from it. It's visually gorgeous. I mean, everything I've seen from it looks fantastic. I mean, it's funny. Like, when I was a teenager, I really loved, like, the episodes where something really major happens in the Star Trek. Like, I really loved the original series movies, so I loved kind of big battles and high drama and high stakes and that kind of thing. So I loved all the Borg. I loved First Contact. That was my favourite movie. Whereas now I much prefer these sort of slightly slower paced, thinky episodes where they have to like, all right, let's sit down and figure out this problem. Picard gets everyone together and goes, right, theories. What do you got? Figure something out. That's your job. Come up with suggestions.
Well, the other thing about TNG especially, I think, was we did have these thinky episodes, but there was just more of a variety. You had some of the really great 2-3 parters. You had some of the more serious episodes with the Borg, but then you had the sit down and thinky ones. Then you just had the silly episodes. It was more of a variety pack than most of the shows now, which are 90% serious with like a sprinkle of thank God I can breathe for an episode. Right.
And there's also, the kind of landscape of television is so different now to this. I mean, this was like, one of my favourite things to do is to show people the trailers for these episodes. They have like a little 5-10 second spot trailer saying, this week on Star Trek, a deadly disease encounters the Enterprise. And it's like, it's so dated and so cheesy, but also kind of charming.
Yeah.
And they've got like the Star Trek Next Generation logo comes up all emblazoned, and it looks like it's on toy packaging. It's so sort of old fashioned.
I love it.
But that was, that was the late 80s for you. Whereas now you have these long arcs of TV shows where you're not expecting a big wrap up at the end of the episode.
Yeah. The thing is, there's loads of serial series that I absolutely love. But for some reason, serial has become synonymous with dark, serious, and brooding.
Of course, yeah.
Even Babylon 5, which was a serial show for the most part, still had a bit more variety of tone. Except, obviously you got into periods of war, and then it was mostly what it was. But they always found ways of introducing funny bits of levity. So, I don't know. It just felt a little bit less like you were getting constantly beaten. But we did say we weren't going to talk about the new stuff.
That's alright. I think it's good, since this is our first kind of classic episode review. I think it's good to kind of post up.
This is when he figures out that L. Brahms is a lady.
L. Brahms.
Yes.
Leia Brahms. Oh.
Oh, he just said, who is L. Brahms?
Mr. LaForge. She is very sexy and has like that 90s hairdo that goes up like Captain Janeway. Actually, fun fact, she auditioned to be Captain Janeway.
Really?
This actress, Susan Gibney.
Okay.
She turns up, I believe she also auditioned to be Seven of Nine. Although bloody everybody auditioned to be Seven of Nine, I think. She also turns up in Deep Space Nine as a cadet, which is a little bit odd.
is odd.
She's the captain of the USS Lakota. She commands the Lakota, the one that chases the Defiant, and that's kind of one of the last uses of practical models in a series. Do you remember that's the one where they're kind of flying over each other? I'm really glad they brought Beverly Crusher back.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't there in season 2. Because basically she had complained, I think absolutely rightly, that the writing was really sexist in season 1, which it completely was. Because it was all like revamped scripts from the 60s and stuff, which were very dated. And super stereotypical and stuff. So they kind of basically put her in the sin bin for a year and brought her back.
Sin bin. Oh, it's funny.
But they said, like, she's been at Starfleet Medical for a year.
Sure.
But they still had her son on board, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very glad she came back. And they did give her some much better scripts moving forward, I think, for the most part. And I like her a hell of a lot better than Pulaski.
And actually they give her a really good character moment. I can't remember what episode this is in, but Wesley, I can't remember whether there's some sort of alien shenanigans going on, but Wesley basically is like, what would you know? You haven't been here. You haven't even been here. And he feels abandoned, And she's clearly hurt, and she goes, I'm here now.
Yep.
Wesley, I'm here for you now. I came back, basically, because I didn't want to leave you alone. It's like, that's a really kind of heartbreaking moment, It's a lovely moment.
She gets quite a few nice moments moving forward.
Yeah.
And then she falls for a...
We're not talking about that episode.
You mean, by which you mean the worst episode of Star Trek of all time? No. Of all time. Bar none.
I think episodes of Discovery are worse, though.
Alright.
I think of TNG it is the pits. It is absolutely terrible.
I would debate that point, but if we're taking New Trek off the table and we're just looking at original series, TNG, Voyager, DS9, Enterprise, it is the worst episode of all of those.
There's some bad TOS though. There's some bad TOS. I will agree with you. However, I think the problem with the reason that episode is so annoying is that I think the character of Beverly Crusher is really betrayed by that script.
Yes.
That's what's annoying about it, is it's like, oh, come on, you could do so much better than this.
I mean, it also just kills me that the reason they made that episode was because they wanted to make an episode that the ladies would like.
Oh, yes, I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, no, I can never forget about that. That's why I'm bitter.
No, fair enough.
For the boys and girls listening, you either know about the episode we're talking about or you don't. That's all we're going to say.
I think they know.
You either know or you don't.
It's,
and if you don't, you didn't have to say it. I was going to say, if you don't, you are lucky that you have not been exposed, but now they're going to be so curious that they're going to go watch it.
Yeah, right.
Don't do it.
I really love this set that they've built with the kind of transfers, the kind of glass transfers that they slide over each other. It's a really nice way of showing... This is around the time that the kind of... the technical world of the ship and the world of the... of the ship and its technology became really believable.
Yep.
What are you giggling about?
Sorry, just LaForge giving her the full toe to eye look.
Oh, I missed that. Did he like
he did a full
up and down?
He did a full from the bottom to the top. That was great.
I can't believe I did. And
let's do it again.
Yeah. The thing is, as an actor, he had to do that whilst also wearing the goofy the visor, right?
Oh god, you notice things when it's muted that you don't when you have the sound on.
But yeah, this is another redress bridge set, I believe. In place of where the view screen should be, you have a lovely window into what looks like the interior of a starbase.
Okay.
So we get some nice kind of history of the Enterprise and where it came from, its design history and so on, because they just before they showed a kind of picture of the Enterprise under construction, and implying that, there was there's certain things like this system is not going to be introduced until the next class of starship or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a sense of like how the ships are designed, and that there's advancements each time they build a new one, and it kind of gives you, because in the first season they didn't really go as much into that. They just kind of go, this one can separate the saucer section and fly away. They don't really tell you what's really special about this ship as opposed to Kirk's ship,
We get the Prometheus later. When they talk about how
the goofy three-way separation.
I love it. It's so wonderfully stupid and I love it.
Good old Daniel Orritt from Space Dock went hard in on that being the dumbest starship ever designed for a science fiction program, which I think is really funny.
It's stupid and I love it.
It is a cool looking ship though, that sort of arrowhead design.
It is a cool looking ship. I'm still really annoyed that even when I know why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
But Eagle Moss.
Yeah.
I completely understand why the standard model didn't separate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna make an XL,
Mm-hmm.
it either separates or you don't make it.
Right.
What is the point of making an XL Prometheus that doesn't separate?
Or a big Delta Flyer that doesn't have a cockpit interior.
Exactly. I understand economically why they didn't do it, but in that case, you just don't do it. There are so many other ships you could have done XL. If you can't do the one gimmick of the ship, don't do it. And I love Eagle Moss dearly, but I don't. If you can't do it right, don't do it at all.
They've explained that basically the price point would go up. So
No, good. I completely understand. Don't make an XL Prometheus then.
Fair enough. So this comes back as, this is actually the battle bridge, I think. And it's also any time like there's another Federation ship, this is the bridge for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was originally built as like a bridge for the Enterprise A or something. I can't remember. Oh, she's overfamiliar. Oh no.
I also like that the reason she's acting like this is because Geordi said, put all the personality we have on file about her into the hologram, which implies, because we do meet the actual Leia Brahms later, that all of the information about her in her file is wrong.
Now the computer did actually warn him, because the computer said, look, there will be a 5 or 6% and not like the 5% chance of it being wrong.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. That's enough. Helpful. I mean, it's basically like he fell in love with Alexa, though.
We're not far off. The world is not far off of that being a reality.
So they've figured out that
there
are actually little things in the asteroids that are draining their power, and they've done it by going through the computer log of the old ship and figuring out that's what happened. And also Picard is really taken with that ship, because this is one of the first introductions of the idea of Picard being into archaeology.
Yes.
Because he didn't really have a character that much in season 1. I feel like in season 2, the Iconians, because you remember the Gateway, the episode with the Iconian Gateway, where it's kind of like a Stargate that can go anywhere.
Yeah.
That one, he's heard of the Iconians, and he's very up on his Iconians. Everybody else is like, "What's the Iconian Empire?" And he's like, "Oh, you haven't heard of the Iconian Empire? Oh my god!"
My favorite thing is still in the episode where his old mentor comes back.
Oh, the chase, yes.
Yes, and brings an artifact along that Picard has been coveting his entire life. He marks it as, one of the best antiques that has ever been discovered. And then in, which one?
Generations.
Yes, thank you. Then in Generations, when he's going through the rubble of his rooms, he picks it up and he just yeets it over his shoulder.
Yeah, it's that one sound effect.
It's not even like it, and it's still in perfect shape.
Yeah.
It's not like he just picks it up and puts it back down. He throws it.
Right. Now that's Patrick Stewart not remembering that was what that prop was.
It was supposed to be deeply precious, not just to him, but to archaeology.
Yeah. He just tosses it out of the way. And clearly, the set dresser just went, I'll just stick this in here. This has been in the wardrobe.
Because he eats it.
Oh god, and now they're getting closer. What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about one of the new things that they're doing with Star Trek. Okay.
Yeah, no. I was saying on what's happening on the screen.
Okay.
We're watching an episode of television nowadays.
Oh, we are, aren't we now? Is that what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh, blurry smile.
I feel like there should be a briefing about this because it happened to him, it happened to Barclay, and it happens to Riker at one point as well. Like he gets obsessed with the program.
Yeah. Does it happen to?
I'm trying to think if it happens to anyone else. Gets kind of obsessed with the program. I mean, Worf has like a calisthenics program where he goes and beats up Skeletor.
I don't think that quite counts.
That's not really the same thing. Everyone uses the holodeck for one reason or another, but...
We're leaving TNG, but doesn't Janeway fall for a program?
Oh,
in her holonovela?
Yes, there is a kind of Henry James Turn of the Screws style...
Handsome hair man?
Yeah, she's playing an English governess.
Yes.
And the children are like, "What is wrong with your cucumber sandwich?" Or whatever. I can't remember what that episode, that whole plot line is about.
No, that's good.
But yeah, that... I think something weird is happening. I think she's hallucinating it.
But she's starting to fall for him, and she feels bad that she's betraying her madman back on Earth.
But it turns out there might be some alien shenanigans.
Well, yes, also alien shenanigans. But I felt like her falling for the hologram was separate of that.
Yes.
So there's a long history of people falling for holograms.
So this is basically these episodes kind of have the House MD structure where it's like, well, this is the problem. Why don't we try just shooting it? Oh, it doesn't work. It goes bad. This would be the moment that the patient crashes and they have to go, "Get the EpiPens!" Everyone's it's all going wrong.
EpiPens, plural.
Just stab them full of epi. You know what I mean. Shut up.
I don't know why that's so funny. I'm just visualizing someone like a porcupine. You got me.
She's taped like 15 together. Oh, that's a nice touch. They turn the engines off.
That's a very nice touch.
Shut up! They're all sitting in the dark. I can't see you.
Oh, God.
I meant the crash car. You know what I meant?
I know what you meant.
We're also very tired, guys. This is what's happening. We're a bit tired.
We are calling this late night.
It's late night trek.
So this might become a theme.
This is we're going to be delirious and just kind of like right on the edge.
We'll put it this way: this series is not going to be at our most cognizant.
Yeah.
Just in general, but that's
part of the appeal.
That's half the fun.
It's a loose format because we're just kind of shooting the shit. I love this. He's like, "I need you to reactivate my lady girlfriend from the holodeck because she's a very important design model I have running on holodeck 3. Oh, there's an absolutely amazing moment coming. I'll point it out when it comes. When Picard walks in.
Oh, yes.
And he sees what's going on. He's like, "Fuck is this?"
That looks like something out of Age of Ultron. That diagram.
Oh, the warp core, yeah. It does kind of look like it could be, what's the generator called?
Oh, the arc reactor?
Arc reactor, that's the one.
I was thinking about when Tony has his holographic screens that he's throwing around everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So handy.
When he's designing Ultron. Yeah. Lovely little model on the left there.
Lovely. Is that an A?
Yes. Well recognised. Annalise knows her ships very well, so I have to say I'm very proud. Because you used to not really know what the difference... Even like you could probably point out an Enterprise, but you didn't know
Well, that was the funny thing. I remember when we first started talking about ships and I was looking at the Enterprise, A, B, C, D, E, and I couldn't figure out how the hell you ever tell the difference, and now I don't see how I could not be able to tell the difference. Oh, lovely model.
Isn't it nice? Also, it's weird because the engines are like on sideways. They're stuck them on the wrong way around.
Yeah.
The set design is probably, there's probably somebody in the art department that just, oh my god.
Come on, Picard, walk in right now.
I don't want to feel that good right now. Maybe later. I'll make you my linguine, or whatever she says, I don't see how the actress didn't kind of go, this is weird.
This is really weird.
Maybe she did.
She might have. Maybe that's why she came back. We're like, look, we'll bring you back and you can put him in his place.
I'd be very curious to talk to the actress now and say, how do you feel about that episode you were in? I imagine she'd have some interesting things to say. Because it's also creepy because he essentially created her. Here we go, here's the moment. He's just... It's just perfect the way he plays it. It's just... I'm just going to look at you.
To be fair, the computer would have all the information that she's developed. And this probably would be a more intuitive interface than just reading it all.
Yeah, but there's also the kind of flirtatious aspect of it that makes it...
Yeah. It's like, oh, for frick's sake.
You can tell that he's like, I wonder if we're going to have a problem with this.
Yeah.
I'm so angry, I'm going to stare out my window.
He's like, I've seen things.
Yeah. Yeah. I do really love, I love models and things. I have 100 Star Trek models in the house, and I really love whenever the art department would clearly just throw together a model really quickly to just dress a set. Mm-hmm. It's just like, we just need a model ship because it's an episode of this is supposed to be a design lab, so they should have some models. Mm-hmm. Like it's an aircraft design or they're designing a boat or something. Mm-hmm. There's a key moment. Flying an aeroplane. That's a key phrase that kind of gives you the conclusion of the episode, which is that they have to turn off. Spoilers. The solution is they have to. What?
I want to wait and find out.
I thought you'd seen this one.
I have, but I forgot.
Oh, okay.
That's the perk of having a terrible memory. I get to watch it again.
Okay. So yeah, basically the theme is
man versus computer.
Simulations would never think to do certain things that, and Red Letter Media pointed this out in their review, as they said that, the problem with that is that it's a sort of slightly dated relationship to technology. Like, the computer would probably, if it genuinely were an AI, it would figure out all these things.
Surely.
Lethal radiation.
Is this one of those Data is the solution episodes?
Not quite, no. So again, this is one of these things where so the ship's being drained, but that same energy is being used to power these radiation emitters that are killing them. So they say fatal exposure in 26 minutes. I'm pretty sure 23 minutes would still be enough to really, really ruin your body.
I mean...
Give you 1,000 kinds of cancer.
Maybe they have those things in that God, what was that really terrible sci-fi movie where they had they look like tanning beds, but they cured you of all of the cancer you got while you were at sunbathing?
Oh, Elysium?
That's the one.
I haven't even seen that movie, and I know that's what that is.
No, the worst part is that I have seen that movie, and I've forgotten everything but that.
I envy you. There's certain movies I've seen. I can't ever forget Eon Flux. I know I've seen that film.
Was it actually called Elon Flux?
Eon.
Eon. I thought you said Elon.
We watched that, didn't we?
We did. But I thought you said
Elon
Flux.
Elon Musk. Elon Flux. Oh dear.
Yeah, there are certain.
So just really socially awkward South African trying to find out what he's doing in the future. Finding out that he's a clone or something. Whatever that movie was about. Have you analysed the risk factor? This is a classic TNG kind of episode where they come up with the solution at the last minute, of course.
So sorry, now I asked you to wait, and now I. So is the solution that the computer's gonna fly it, but with human corrections?
Yes. So Picard decides he has to take command.
So is he flying it himself manually?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, because as the captain, he's taken command for his crew. He's taking responsibility.
Is the solution to this whole big mystery we have to fly away?
No. So what they're doing is
I missed some of the captions.
What they're doing is they're going to fire the thrusters once.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then coast.
Which is how it really works. That's always the thing in science fiction is that they show the engines like an X-wing, just looks like a plane, just because it's constantly flying and it's constantly burning its engines. You wouldn't need to do that.
No,
it'd be more like a Star Fury.
Yes, if you have no resistance, you'd.
So there you go. They had a lovely. So that shot we just had actually was a CG insert made by CBS in whenever they did the Blu-ray of this, because there were certain up close shots that they decided not to use because I think upscaling them, or not upscaling them, but transferring them from the stock footage, they decided it didn't look good enough in Blu-ray.
Okay.
So certain ones are actually replaced by a CG model that was made in 2016 or whatever.
Okay, alright.
This is a good little action episode, actually. You've got these. They have thrusters to just kind of maneuver them around.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, again, that little circle of 4 buttons. How is that controlling the Enterprise,
it
really?
Controls like an N64.
Yeah. But at least they managed to do it. Port was the left one, They got that right. Yeah. It's a classic kind of human intuition saves the day type theme.
Indeed. Well, sci-fi does like pointing out how special humans are.
Just like the one where Troy gets taken over by a green cloud. Oh wait, that's like 6 episodes.
At least in Babylon 5, the whole thing is. Sorry, I just thought about how many episodes there were when she got taken.
She gets taken over, possessed by a green cloud.
At least in Babylon 5, they took the tact of humans aren't special, but they could be, or they might be in the future. Mm-hmm. At least that's a little different. Sure.
Whereas Q is just jealous of humanity because we can, we change quicker than the Q do, or something like that. We evolve faster.
I love this. This is my favorite.
Deja vu. I've just been in this place before. I run the street. Yeah.
Dorifto.
Dorifto. Yeah. It's a classic moment. That.
I love that shot.
It does look a little goofy. The scale isn't quite right. That's the thing with the Enterprise D is I love the Enterprise D. I really love the design, but it doesn't look the most aerodynamic. Mm-hmm. It looks like a ship that should go slow.
Yeah. Well, it
like the Enterprise
have to be aerodynamic, I guess.
Sure,
in space,
but like Voyager looks sleeker.
Yes, it does.
Voyager looks like something that can do all those kind of slick moves.
Voyager's beautiful.
Oh, this scene. They have a little heart to heart. But, compare this to the beginning. Now he's actually comfortable with a woman because she's not real.
That's the worst part. Is the moral is he can be comfortable with women. She's not real.
He's just got to get himself a waifu pillow.
A waifu hologram?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Thing is, though, even if she is a hologram, she looks very real within the show. Like, she's,
He's figuring out how to be comfortable with himself.
I'm with you every day. Oh, no. No.
Oh, no.
No, don't say that.
Wait, isn't that the clip that the real Labrobs comes and sees?
Well, because there's also a problem with the engines in that episode.
So she and so she plays
She sees it.
I think she pauses it on the moment where hologram her is kissing not currently there Geordie.
Yes.
Oof.
And she's furious.
Rightfully furious.
Yeah, well, we were not... Okay, we're going to get to that another time.
Another time.
Well, there you have it. There's a fun episode from season 3. Netflix is going to try and...
Autoplay, which we will not let it do.
No.
I like that episode a lot.
It's a great... I think it's a great episode. It's kind of got a mix of your action and creative problem solving and some nice kind of themes. Like, I think probably the best thing it's saying is don't try too hard. Basically,
yes.
you're trying too hard to solve problems. Sometimes the solution is actually simpler. To do it simpler.
Yes.
Which is good. That's a good
trust
kind of
your intuition.
moral. Yes.
Both for Picard and for Geordie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
So there we are.
That's good.
I think we're going to call it here for this episode, but
Yes,
we're going to do another one. But we will see you for that. So
Indeed.
thanks for listening, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.